Why is there so much fear behind speaking my truth? I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this recording shit.
What?
Oh, sorry, mommy's recording something really quick, buddy. You play your game. Yeah, I don't have any good setup. I have no microphone. I have no way to position myself the way I'd like to, but it's alright. It is what it is. So, Junior, so if you see me looking outside or looking up, it's because I'm looking at my beautiful tree. I'll show you. Okay, never mind. I can't flip the camera around to show you. Just kidding. There you go. So yeah, my tree is giving me some amazing strength. I'd like to record this outside, but the traffic makes it loud, and I just don't want anyone not to be able to hear me that good. When the cars go by, it's just really loud and hard to hear. But yeah, fear. Let's talk about fear. Why am I scared to speak my truth? Good question. And I came across this affirmation this morning, one of my tea affirmations, and a lot of the times my guides will give me synchronicities and upliftment reminders and beautiful gifts through coins and different sayings. And this one was on the floor today upside down. So when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's going to be a message in here for me. And it says, you are the master of your judgments, your decisions, and your actions. Anytime I read this affirmation, I get this fearful feeling instead of like an upliftment. I'm like, just this weird feeling of not feeling good. And I'm like, where is that coming from? So I talked to God about that today. And I'm the master of my judgments, my decisions, and my actions. And it's the judgment, decisions, and actions part that I feel fearful in. So I wanted to get to the root of this, and I asked God, why do I feel fearful when I read this affirmation? What is it about the judgments, decisions, and action part that make me feel just an uncomfortable feeling? Affirmations aren't really supposed to make you feel like that. So, and then I realized the reason I feel like that is because I've always been told I'm always doing something wrong. I'm not good enough. I'm always doing something wrong. So then I realized my own judgments, decisions, and actions the fear of my judgments, decisions, and actions, because of always feeling like I'm doing something wrong, is mastering. And that's what God made me aware of. So once I perceive this differently, the fear of my judgments, decisions, or actions is what's actually mastering. But if I reread this in a different way, because like I'm completely missing the master part. You are the master of your judgments, your decisions, and your actions. So I always take accountability for everything. So I'm not allowing these to be the master. I am the master of them. So when I change my mindset around them, no, I'm not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with me. These aren't mastering me, I'm mastering them. So when I changed my perception around it and started looking at it as what it says, but because of my fear, my brain automatically goes to the judgment, decisions, and actions words and creates this fear mentality of something's wrong with me, I'm doing something wrong. And when I flipped the switch and looked at it as what it says, that I'm the master of that. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm the master of all these. I'm the master of my decisions, the judgments, my actions. I'm not doing anything wrong. I've just been programmed to think I'm doing something wrong. And if I allow that program of fear to make me think I'm always doing something wrong, that program of fear is actually winning, because I am believing that there is fear behind my judgment, decisions, and actions, because I think I'm doing something wrong, and I'm really not. And I'm actually the fucking master of all of these. And it's not mastering me. So I changed my perception around it, and I dug deep on that this morning, and I'm like, why does this affirmation make me feel not good? Well, it's because I've been programmed to believe my whole life that everything that I do is always wrong. So my judgments, my decisions, and my actions in my programmed delusional mind is that it's always wrong. But it's not, because I'm the master of these. And when I change my perception around it and look at it as I'm the master of my judgment, my decisions, and my actions, and that's not overpowering me, I overpower it, I feel empowered. Once again, because I realize I am the master of all of these, and that I'm not doing nothing wrong, and that everything's okay, and that I'm safe. So that's how my brain tries to rewire things, to change my perception around it and figure out like why I am the way I am, or I act the way I do, and then I can reprogram myself into seeing that that fear is not real, and I'm actually the master of all of these. It's not mastering me anymore. I told God I didn't know where I was going to start with all of this, because there's so much to say. You know? Where do I start? And he told me just to start from the beginning, because I don't want this to be a long video. But I do talk a lot, so. The tree's pretty. Very sweet. Throughout the whole winter, I got to watch this tree go through the process of transformation, losing its leaves, being bare throughout the winter, and then watching it blossom again now has been such a beautiful thing to witness, the cycle. And when I talked to, I call them my trees, when I talked to my tree recently about that, it was really sweet, because it's like I heard the tree say back ditto. Because like not only have I been watching its process of growth and transformation, it's been watching mine. What, babe?
How did I build him a home?
I don't know. I'll help you after I do my...
build home.
I'll help you after I'm done with this, okay?
Look. Look.
I'm looking.
I need you to build him a home.
Alright, after my video, I will try to figure it out for you. He just got Minecraft, finally. I've been wanting to get my baby something. His birthday's in a couple days, and his brother came over and gave him his iPad, and I finally was able to get him Minecraft because he's been wanting something, and I just feel bad because my baby's been so isolated, and he hasn't gotten to experience yet, like, friendships and fun. Of course, he doesn't see it that way because he's just a youngin', but I'm ready for my baby to have fun. He deserves that, and so does my inner child. And I thought about that today, you know, like, choosing yourself and stepping out of your comfort zone and setting healthy boundaries for yourself isn't easy. And it is fearful. And change is scary, but it is necessary. Because if you want to grow and you don't want to stay stuck where you're at, then you're the only one that can do something about it. Every fearful thing that could come to my mind is just dumb things that are irrelevant. But in society makes them relevant. like throughout this process, like I've gained so much weight, and I'm just learning more about now about like cortisol and this and that, and I definitely have high cortisol. I told God, I said, I feel like a swollen Cabbage Patch Kid coming out here speaking my truth. I feel like a swolled up Cabbage Patch Kid. But God made me feel good about it, because he told me, he's like, I'm going to use you as an example to show others how unhealthy you can get when you stay in a situation longer than you're supposed to that is soul suffocating, and that you are not supposed to be in, because it no longer serves you. And the only reason it served you before was to get you to where you are now, to build the strength and remembering who you are now. God told me, like, once I speak my truth, I'm getting all this weight off of me by speaking my truth, because it's just building and building and building up, and it's not going to get any better, and I'm not going to get any healthier. Like, I can change my mindset and do all this and that, but if I'm still in a situation that is soul suffocating and I can't grow, and I'm actually like trying to fight every day just to get my vibe high, fuck that. Fuck that shit. God said he's going to use me as an example of when I leave this situation that is very draining, right? How quickly I'm going to get healthier, and how quickly I'm going to lose weight, and how quickly my skin's going to clear up, and how quickly, because what you put yourself around, you become. Now, I might not be becoming the person itself that I'm around, but the energy is going to affect me, and it's going to affect my energy. So I can work on my mindset being positive. I can work on all this stuff all I want. But at the end of the day, if I'm still around the situation that's causing it, there's still going to be a lack of growth and a lack of being healthy. So when God said he's going to use me as an example to show others that they too can choose themselves and set healthy boundaries, and they too can leave situations that do not serve them, that are toxic, that are draining their life force. The beauty that can come from it when you choose yourself, and how your life can change drastically. I almost said dramatically. I don't know why that came in. Well, I don't know, but it's going to change drastically, dramatically, drastically. I don't know. But it made me feel better, though. Oh my God. This little bee that's been visiting me, he's so funny. And I can always spot him out amongst the other ones. There he is again. He just sits there and looks at me and watches me. He's so funny. I'll have to tell you that story about him the other day. We actually had a funny conversation. But he looks different because he's got more black in him than yellow. So like he sticks out, and he'll just levitate and just watch me and just stare at me. And the other day I was standing outside, and he was just standing there staring at me, and I'm like, what's up? The thought in my head, telepathically, I'm like, what's good? You good? It's like, yeah, just being around. I'm like, what the fuck? Just being around. Cool, okay. Hi, baby. You playing your game? So, anyways, I'm already 14 minutes into this, but it's okay, because time's just an illusion anyways, yada, yada, yada. The tree always helps me feel centered and grounded. That's why if you catch me staring at it, it's because it just kind of brings me back to Usa. Helps me focus. So yeah, my childhood was a little rough. Growing up, I grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And I basically raised myself in the streets. My parents weren't really around. They separated when I was 1. My dad would pick me up every other weekend if he remembered to, if he wasn't too fucked up. I remember many times sitting on my mom's lap just crying because he said he was going to show up and he never did, and I would wait there for hours for him to come and he never would. And then my mom wasn't around the majority of the time. She was either working or partying or doing whatever she did, so I was really just in the streets raising myself, doing a lot of things that I probably shouldn't be doing.
Mom, you talking?
Yeah.
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the video, buddy. Just making a video for people.
We need to for the house, for the woods.
Give me a second, babe. I gotta figure out how to do it. I don't even know how to play that, so I will try to figure it out for you, okay? Just give me a second, okay? So, excuse me. But yeah, isn't this tree so pretty? I was getting irritated earlier because I was trying to do this before he woke up, and then he woke up and I'm like, whatever. But look at this tree. Is it not so beautiful? So yeah, growing up, my mom had me watching a lot of horror movies when I was a kid, and like by the age 5, I felt like if I was friends with Freddy Krueger, he wouldn't come get me. Like, dude, if I'm cool with you killing everybody, you ain't gonna come after me. It's fine. I'm cool with it. So by the time I was like 5, I was already programmed to think like that way, you know. My mom's friends would get mad at her when I was little. I remember they'd be like, why do you let her watch that stuff? And it's because she was trying to program fear into me. So like all I ever got to watch when I was little was horror movies. All I dreamt when I was little was dreams of animals getting beat to death and my family getting brutally killed. And at the age of 5, me having to defend my mom from her boyfriend that's choking her out and killing her, and me having to stab him in the back, and at the age of 5. So like I was already thinking like survival of the fittest since I was born. Or I don't think my parents are even my parents, to be honest with you, because my birth certificate has nothing on it at all. I have no baby pictures. I have nothing. My mom said that because we moved around so much, that's why it got, all the baby pictures and everything of mine got lost. But I don't believe it. And I don't know if they took me as a child or what happened, but I really feel like they are not my parents. And like there's literally nothing on my birth certificate. No weight, no time, no nothing. My name, mom, dad, and just their names, and that's it. There's no history of them. There's nothing. Like that's literally like the blankest birth certificate I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, but growing up was kind of rough. I did what I wanted to do all the time, basically. And you know, my mom would take me to a lot of biker parties where everyone was doing drugs and stuff, and there was just a lot of drama and violence and chaoticness constantly throughout my childhood. And I know my dad was very abusive, physically, mentally, emotionally. My mom, I got blamed for everything all the time. Not to mention like my mom letting me go with babysitters that she knew were pedophiles and letting them do stuff to me. And then even when I would ask her and tell her like I didn't want to go to these places that she would make me go at night, it didn't matter. She still would. They all played head games with me. Now that I look back, I can see everything, like all the head games, all of everything that was played on me. And I know that before I incarnated here that I signed up for all of this. I signed up to go through all of this heartache and to go through all of the betrayal and all this stuff to help build me and help me remember who I was, and to help me learn how to heal myself and alchemize and turn my pain into power. So I'm grateful for everything that I went through. I'm grateful for the strength that it gave me. You know, when I was little, my mom said that like when I was 2 or 3, her and her friends would be up all night doing acid parties and stuff, and when I woke up in the morning, they were just going to sleep, and I would go around and finish all their beer bottles off at the age of like 2 or 3. And I would, and they thought it was funny, yada, yada. And then they wonder why by the time I'm 10, I'm tapping my mom's keg, because everybody's feeding me alcohol and everything my whole childhood and feeding, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking it's okay. So by the time I'm 10 years old, here's me sneaking and tapping my mom. She had 2 fridges, one fridge for food and one fridge with a keg in it. So I would go and tap her fridge and get her, alcohol and this and that. But there was many situations that happened as far as like her and my dad allowing things to happen to me when I was a child. Now looking back, I can see how I was very tapped in and tuned in, and my intuition was really strong, because like even when I've almost gotten kidnapped when I was a kid, like there was guys I'd run from. This one guy I remember, like I was 11 and I knew he was going to come after me. Like I could just see it in his eyes, and I could see everything he was doing. Like I just knew by his body language and everything, like he was going to try to come after me. And like now looking back, I can see like, wow, I've always been like this. Like I've always been on point with everything, and I just didn't know it. And I've just been told my whole life that I was wrong, but I was actually right about everything. Because your body doesn't lie to you. Your head is programmed and it's going to tell you what it's been told to say, but your heart knows the truth. So anyways, I keep stopping because I keep having so many thoughts come in that I want to say that I just don't. I'm trying to weave out that don't really need to be said right now. And they're just, I don't know, just trying to really think about where I'm going with this. I don't know. So I moved to Tennessee from Pennsylvania when I was 11. And I was only down there for a few months that time. My stepdad came into my life when I was about 7 or 8, and I already had the mentality where I was already raising myself in the streets. I mean, I was literally like just doing my own thing all the time. I didn't have any parents' supervision, you know. I was breaking into abandoned apartments when I was a kid. I was just doing all kinds of stuff. So when my stepdad came in the picture, he tried to be strict with me and thought that he could, you know, and I'm like, man, I've been doing my own thing this whole time. You can't come in here and tell me what to do now, because it's not going to work. So we bumped heads and we didn't get along. Because I haven't had any parent supervision, so you're going to come in and try to be extra strict on me and thinking that you're going to, it's not, no. I've already been doing it all on my own this whole time. I know I'm only like 8, but you're not going to come in and tell me what to do and be strict on me and like, no, it's not going to work. So we bumped heads, and when I was 11 and we moved to Tennessee, he had put his hands on me. He tried hitting me. I got in trouble at school for some dumb shit. Because you got to think, like, where I'm from, back in the city, we talk to, yo, teach. Like, that's how we talk to teachers. We do, yo, teach, yo. Like, it wasn't like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, all that. So when I moved to Tennessee, it was really strict on that shit. You know, the manners, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yada, yada. Well, I wasn't good at that because I was not raised that way. And at that time, they could give you lickings. And my stepdad's like, well, I'm signing a paper, so you have to get lickings anytime you don't listen. Instead of them calling me to come get you, they can just take you in the bathroom and hit you with a paddle. So, of course, I got hit with a paddle a lot because I didn't fucking listen. And I did what I wanted to do. And it was just hard for me to get in the habit of saying yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, all that. And my teacher would be like, excuse me? What did you say? I'm like, shit, where I'm from, in 8th grade, kids are throwing teachers down flights of stairs. And you want me to come in here and say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am to you and be all respectful, and you going to take me in the bathroom and hit me with a paddle? If you were back where I'm from, you'd be getting hit with the paddle. Okay? So, yeah, I didn't really blend in down south too good. But anyways, my stepdad tried giving me a spanking, like bending me over on his lap. I'm 12 years old. I'm already starting to develop a body. I shouldn't have to lean over your legs, bend over so you can give me a spanking. And then he like shoved me against the wall and some shit. And I had the type of personality and the mentality where you're not going to put your hands on me. The only one that can put their hands on me is my dad, which isn't a good mentality to have, because you shouldn't be thinking that anyone can put your hands on you, whether they're your parents or not. But I was just so programmed, or my dad would be like, when I was growing up, you know, my dad would be like, you're lucky I don't beat you like I got beat when I was a kid. And, you know, and I knew both my parents had really challenging, rough childhoods. And that's why I always gave them the benefit of the doubt. I gave everybody always the benefit of the doubt, because I could see the inner child. I could see where it was coming from. I could see that they only knew what they knew because they didn't know any better because of what they'd been through. But it programmed me to think a certain way, like, okay, it's okay for my dad to put his hands on me, but nobody else. No, it's not fucking okay for him to put his hands on me either. Anyways, so when my stepdad tried doing that, I was dating a guy in a gang at the time that was older than me, and he knew how to put bombs on cars. So I'm like, okay, well, we're going to put a bomb on this dude's car because he's not going to put his hands on me again. So here I am, 11 years old, planning on how to put this bomb on my stepdad's car. I don't think I would have ever went through with it. Okay. But he was on the other line listening the whole time as I'm talking to my boyfriend about planning on how to do this, because he put his hands on me. So they got in their feelings and yada yada, so I had to go move back in.
Done?
Not yet, I know, right? So then I had to,
Mom, it's taking so long.
it's taking very long, I know. Here, baby.
Go to build in the house.
Can you just go do it? I don't know how to do it, babe. Just try to figure it out.
I don't know. I can't.
Just give me a few more minutes, baby, and I'll try to figure it out for you, okay? So, there's so many other memories that flood in that I'm just like filtering out and not saying. Just trying to stick with what I need to. So yeah, my stepdad was on the other line listening to the whole conversation, and he got in his feelings, of course, because he sees I'm trying to plan on putting a bomb on his car and planning on my mom not being there in the car and yada yada. And so they get all mad at me because of that. And I'm like, well, since I'm ruining your guys' relationship, because my mom always made it seem like I ruined all her relationships, then I'm just going to leave since I'm the problem. So I went back to Pennsylvania to live with my dad for the first time ever, thinking I'm going to do better and I'm going to get myself together and start, you know, doing better. And no, I go back to the city where I'm from with my abusive, drug addict, alcoholic dad, and did not go as expected. So when I went back there for only a year, I had gotten arrested twice for stealing. They put me in a klepto class. I was like 13, and you got to realize, when I was a kid though, me and my friends always went into stores and stole food because we needed food. So when I was 13, I still had that brain capacity of, you know, stealing. But I didn't feel like the other people did, like when I go in the store, I have to take something, or, you know, it wasn't like that. Like I was in there with grown people that were just, they couldn't go into a store without having to take something because they had to. It wasn't like that for me. For me, it was just because, you know, because I needed the shit. So the first time I ever lost my virginity, I was 12, and I got raped by my friend's brother. He was 18. That was in Tennessee at that time when I was 11, before I moved to Pennsylvania back with my dad. When I moved back to Pennsylvania with my dad, the second time I ever had sex, I got raped again 2 days before my 14th birthday. A lot of shit happened around that. Went back to Tennessee to live with my mom for a couple years. That's when I met my son's father, Corey, the second time I went to Tennessee. And I thought he was like
Mom,
my soulmate, my twin flame, and all
stop
that.
talking. I'm trying to talk to the gang.
You need my help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to build a house.
All right. I'm trying not to get overwhelmed right now and overstimulated, because I'm trying to get this out to you, and it's only been a half hour, and I feel like I haven't even gotten that far. So I'm trying to like calm myself down right now. And
Stop talking.
yeah, I hear you telling me to stop talking, buddy. I'm trying to get this video done, okay? Okay.
It's been so long.
I know. So I'm gonna take a break, and I'm gonna come back, get him situated, and then come back and finish this.